Okay, I'm going to just go back to my website for a second here. So if you want your website to start looking really cool and very visual with little sliders and stuff on top, the Ultimatum theme makes this so incredibly simple. And we like to make things simple, don't we? Because time is money. So how do we do this? First of all, let's go to the Ultimatum theme. Let's go back to our dashboard. Now, here's a very important step. For those of you that have not used the program before, I don't want you to get frustrated. That's my job, to make you frustrated. No, my job is to make this really simple. So what we need to do if you want to use slideshows, and Ultimatum ships with tons and tons of free sliders you can use. So the first thing we need to do is go to the Ultimatum settings, and based on these choices, we're going to go into advanced settings. Ooh, advanced settings. He's talking about advanced stuff. Not really. That just happens where it happens to be. I'm going to select extra settings. And based on these choices, I would typically do two things. I want to turn on my Ultimatum slideshow, and I also want to use my shortcodes inside of Ultimatum. I want to have those two things turned on by default. By default, it's not turned on. And I'd save those changes. Then, what I have, once I do that, if I select anything in here like dashboard or anything else, I will have slideshows. Now, keep in mind, I'm not here to confuse you, but there's two different types of slideshows in here that I'm using for this particular demonstration. I have a third-party free plugin slideshow, and then I have the slideshow that comes with Ultimatum. So if I click right here to add new, this is part of the Ultimatum slideshow. So I'm just going to call this main slider. I'm just going to call it main slider. Now keep in mind, we could have many different types of slideshows. Now if I learn how to spell, now we're going to add images. I'm going to navigate my way to where the images are kept. So we're going to go here, we're going to go there, we're going to go to slider heads, and we're going to do, let's do 1, 2, 3. Now, a little bit of propaganda. Yes, these are the sliders that are coming from my website. That these slides were designed by one of my great students, Mary Beth. And if you need great design work, she's a great designer, and she learned stuff. She was actually a great designer. She just learned how to do all the software, Illustrator, Photoshop, all that stuff, WordPress, web design, creation from me. Okay. Now, the way that this works is you can change this order. So let's say I want this slide to appear first. I can just drag this up here. And I publish this. Now, once you publish this, that's what's going to take and physically make sure it's on your server because I published it. Now, important step. We went to our property settings. We turned on the Ultimatum slideshow under advanced settings. Then we selected a slideshow, and based on these choices, we added a new slideshow. So therefore, you would think, well, if I go to the front end here, I should be able to see my slideshow. Well, why would you see your slideshow? You didn't tell it where to put the slideshow, correct? Again, software only does what you tell it to do. The stupid silicon-based being only understands what the carbon-based being, meaning you, me, tells it what to do. So for those of you that get frustrated over things, it's because you didn't tell it what to do. Software just doesn't make up things. It doesn't think, oh, here comes Tila, let's screw with her head. Here comes Jennifer, let's give her a hard time. No, software doesn't work like that. Software only does what you tell it to do based on what it was programmed to do based on choices. So what we need to do again is go back to the Ultimatum theme templates, and based on these choices, we select layouts. Now keep in mind that pretty much all of our layouts have a place for these slideshows. So let's think about something very intuitively. We didn't work smart. What do I mean by that? Now I got to go back to each layout and add my slideshow, where if I would have done the slideshow before I duplicated the layout, see, that would have been a better way to work smart. Now, of course, I knew that, but I just want to share that technique with you. If you're going to duplicate something, make sure it has all the little goodies first before you start duplicating it. So let's go up here to this particular main layout. And we have a place for it. Remember, we inserted our slideshow full width row, which was this one right here. This is going to give us a full width, plus it'll be responsive design. So based on these choices, we want to select the Ultimatum slideshow, and we're going to put this right here in this section. Oh, my mistake on that. I guess, you know what? I just realized my main default area we didn't put in that slideshow correct. My mistake. Robert made a mistake because that was our default layout. We didn't do that. So let's actually do that. So I go to insert row. I guess I do too many videos. I guess sometimes I get confused with other videos that I've done. All right, let's just drag this up to here. But mistakes are great. I don't encourage you to make mistakes, but that's how we learn. Ultimatum slideshow, that comes right up here. And then based on these choices, well, keep in mind, we only have one slider, and I know that my slideshow is 320 pixels high, so I'm going to type in 320. Now, for those of you that don't know this, milliseconds, most slideshow, no matter who makes a slideshow, most slideshows are written either jQuery or JavaScript or a combination of both. Ultimatum Theme ships with all different types of slideshow and effects. We're going to pick our flexible slideshow. And again, this is set to 7,000 milliseconds. There's 1,000 milliseconds for every second. So this is on screen for 7 seconds. Now, important step here, depending on how much text and content information you have inside your slider, give the viewer the appropriate amount of time, and that's going to come through trial and error. So if I come up here and I save those changes, and I go back to my layout, and I come up here to view the site, by default, you will see the slider. Pretty cool. Now, here's the bonus. It's automatically set up for responsive design. So if I come down here, look at that. Looky, looky. I can put this on a little smartphone or an iPhone or an iPad or a Galaxy. Pretty cool stuff. It was really that simple. But wait, there's more. Okay, now I'm not going to go into great detail with this, but I just want to share with you what we can do. Okay, just so you can see it's just visually different. So we're going to go to our slideshow. Again, you want to go to this slideshow right here. If you go to this slideshow, add new. This is a third-party plugin. I'm sorry, that's the slideshow for the Ultimatum theme. The other one is a third-party plugin. So we're going to call this Slider 2. And if I learn how to spell slider, maybe I need to take somebody's course on. Actually, it's not about spelling, it's about typing. Part of the reason I can't type, I'll blame this on 7th grade typing class. I'll blame this on a girl called Nancy Fishkoff. And I won't even explain why I couldn't concentrate in class in the 7th grade, why I'm such a bad typist, because it's all her fault. I blame her 100%. So I'm going to take these same slides, except I'm going to mix it up a bit. Meaning that if I go to that particular page, I just want to have, before we had this slide appear first, I'm just going to have this slide appear first. Now keep in mind, these could be totally different slides, obviously. But I'm just going to save that change. So now, when I go back to my Ultimatum theme, templates, okay, templates, layouts, and now I'm going to pick that other for the bottom add. Now this, we only have this coming up for the images, which is fine. We edit that based on these choices. We have a place for the sliders. Remember when we duplicated that original layout, we inserted the place for the slideshow. So I go here, and in this particular case, I want to have slider 2 come up. Okay? And it's smart enough to, I mean, you need to pay attention to this. It just happened to look out and put in slider 2, but I know the height of this is 320 pixels high, and I'm going to use that same slider setting, the flexible slider, and I save the changes. Okay, so now if I go back to my slider one more time, I'm just going to call this slider 3. Add new image. Now again, I'm just doing this as a for instance, but I'm just going to add the same bit of images, and I'm just going to change the order. So I'm going to have this slider, I think, appear first, correct? If not, we'll change that. So that's slider 3. So if I go back to the Ultimatum theme template, so again, once you start understanding how it thinks, it really is this simple, and that's what I want you to get excited about. I've had students come to me in person. I haven't done in-person training for about 3 to 4 years now. Most all my training exclusively is online. But I had students come here in New York City, Hearst Publications, Gray Advertising, Saatchi & Saatchi, come to me for training. And they used to pay me back in the one-on-one training days anywhere between $250 and $350 for an hour-and-a-half course. And you might think that's outrageous. Well, my skill set is absolutely amazing, and it's worth every penny. But I'll be very honest with you. After about 2 or 3 one-on-one courses, A lot of my students would, wait a second, what did I just pay for? That was so simple. Yes, it was. It was simple because I'm making it simple, and that's what separates what I do, guys and gals, people from New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey, so I can pick on that. But that's what makes it so incredibly different. It comes down to technique. It's simple because I'm making it simple. I'm explaining it to you in a very simple way. I'm involving you in the thinking process. I come up here, and this is slider 3. Again, this is 320 pixels. And I know I keep picking the same slider. In your practice, whatever, you can pick whatever type of slider you want. I just like the flex slider. I think it's nice. It's easy. It works. And I do that. So now I have all different types. I save the layout. Now I have all different types of sliders that can come up based on what I've selected. So if I go to the headers page, I'm going to get a header slider. And if I go to the images page, I'm going to get an image slider. And if I go to the links page, unordered list page, I'm going to get, well, actually that's going to the same slider. But you get the idea. So if I go back to my home page here, you're going to get different information come up based on the slider, so you can have very, very different sliders. Now, I took the lazy way out in this demonstration, and I basically picked a lot of the same sliders and just changed the order. But to share with you, it's really, really that simple. I want you to get really excited about this. Now, don't just think of sliders for this top banner. This could have been a slider right here. This could have been a little slideshow, rotating banner ad. And one of the features that, one of the options that you have, if I go back to that for a second, if I go back to dashboard and I go back to my sliders, if I pick, say, slider 3 as an example, and I edit slider 3, okay, so I could basically tell it to go to a URL, okay. So I could say, hey, when you click on this, and this is where it's really cool. This is where you want to word salad this up. Don't be lazy about this. Just don't put in slides in there. In fact, I probably would not call it slide 3. I would call it what the slide is about, what the product is about, what the meaning is about. The alternative text is important, the caption. All this stuff is going to help you for search engine optimization, and that's the name of the game. Okay, so I just want to share with you one more thing in closing here. There's a lot more to the course. There's a lot more to the program. Okay, but my training comes down to this. I only teach marketable skills. What do I mean by that? Well, I no longer, as of 2014 July, what is today, the 23rd of July? Yes, Wednesday, July 23rd, 2014. As of many months ago, in fact, as of the end of last year, I no longer teach Flash anymore unless somebody specifically needs it for a project, because Flash is not a marketable skill. I mean, Apple put an end to that. Flash does not work on Apple products. Apple owns a lot of the market. I also no longer teach programs like Freehand and Quark Express. I did back in the day, so rest assured that when you take my courses, I'm not going to hoodwink you into taking something you can't get a job with, you can't make money with. I only teach you marketable skills, marketable techniques. And here's another thing you want to consider when signing up for my courses. Okay, you can spend the next 10 weeks, hours, months, years, whoever, searching YouTube for free this, for free that, for free portals. And you know what? I've done all that for you. Okay, you don't have to search the web. You don't have to ask your friend. Just simply ask me, because I've been there. I've been in the trenches for all these years. If there's a better, faster way, I know all the tricks, all the cutting edge. That's another reason why you want to train with me, because it's consistency, okay? Your money is as good as anybody else's money. So let's think about this. If you go to a college, university, or take other online courses, I won't mention any names, lynda.com, you know, why do you want to be subjected to a teacher that may or may not know what they're talking about? And that happens all the time, and it happens really frighteningly. It happens at some of the best design schools. Here in New York City, Parsons, Pratt, and New School, Cooper Union, those are wonderful design schools, great design schools. They absolutely suck when it comes to software. First of all, they don't pay their teachers well enough. and they don't teach proper technique. So if you think you're going to learn this stuff, if you think, oh, I could just learn this stuff myself, I'll read a book, I'll ask my friend, good luck with that. If you're serious about making money with your skill and you want to cut to the chase, invest into proper training. I'm not asking you to spend tens of thousands of dollars like some of these other bozo hack schools. The Phoenix Institute, every time I see that commercial for Phoenix Institute, really $35,000, $40,000 for an online school that you're going to learn bullshit with? These are marketable skills. My name's Robert Farrell, and if you want to learn things the right way, take my courses. It's really that simple. And if you want to get a good deal on it, then go to ThinkLearnEarn.partners, and that's where you can get great deals on my training, my all-access course. So as an example, here you go. Here's a good example of this. If you go to my website, ThinkLearnEarn.guru, you will find this same exact course for over $200. Now you might say to yourself, well, wait a second, why would you sell it for $200 over there? Well, it's like any other business. Other businesses have different incentive programs and different sales. If you come to ThinkLearnEarn.partners and you click right here, that's going to take you to a little form, and you tell me what time zone you're in, and I will connect you with a student in your time zone. Okay, it's really that simple. Now, eventually, as I get more and more students reselling, then I will have a better system. But right now, that system works. So if you click right here, that will take you right to the form here. Now, here's another great deal. I have, in fact, this price is getting raised. In fact, maybe by the time you see this video, this price will already be up. But this price is going to $29, which is really a bargain. This course will teach you how to create a complete online menu system for any type of restaurant, delivery system, online takeout menu, including all the bells and whistles, ingredients, zip code, delivery areas, etc., etc. Now, the other course here, again, this on my website goes for $600. Okay, I'm sorry, $599, $600. Okay, but through my all-access students, you can get discounts on this. So don't, do yourself a favor. If you want better deals on my training, I think my training is competitively priced right off my website. But as a thank you to my students who brought me to the party, I've had students that have been with me since 1995. Okay, to my students that have passionately been there in the trenches with me, learn these skills the right way, my way of giving back. The only way to get all access courses and selective other courses is through my all access students at ThinkLearnEarn.partners. So what are you waiting for? Go there, click find a partner, training partner. I'll put you in touch with the student, and 70% of your fee goes towards their web design, print design business, and also supports their family. Thank you again for being here. My name is Robert Farrell. If there's a better way to do things with anything that I teach all Adobe products. I teach all Apple products. I teach all WordPress products and plugins and themes and frameworks. I also teach PHP, MySQL. I also teach JavaScript. I also teach all the Google tools. So here's the bottom line before I go. Really? I thought you said that 5 minutes ago. Okay. What's the point of learning a software skill if you can't get work with it? So not only do I teach you the software, I teach you how to market, present, sell, how to handle clients, how to price yourself. All that's included in my courses. I will talk to you soon. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day. Carpe diem.